I've been working upon the renaissance of Hindu Rashtra, for Hindu society for quite some time. Although I'm a telecommunication professional, having founded and started a number of telecom companies, the last one being VS Sanchar Nigam, India's International Telecom Corporation, of which I was the founding chairman and managing director. And I brought about telecom revolution in India by saying apply, no reply should go. While accomplishing that one, I also researched what is India and how Hinduism and India are being attacked, both bad mouth in the United States, especially the Harvard University and Chicago have taken over the lead from Oxford. When the British Empire was there and India was a colony of them, it was Oxford which was producing what Macaulay called Indians who are only in blood and color Indian, but in all tastes and opinions and philosophies European or Anglos. Now, we have a large number of great, even Western patriots. For example, Dr. Annie Besant. She came from Ireland. She founded the Home Rule League to agitate for India's self-governance against the British. After having studied so many things and after coming to India, interacting, studying its history, she said this one. So many people are now distracting India. After a study of some 40 years and more of the great religions of the world, I find none so perfect, none so scientific, none so philosophic, and none so spiritual than the great religion known by the name Hinduism. She further said, make no mistake, without Hinduism, India has no future. Hinduism is the soil into which India's roots are stuck, and torn out of that, she will inevitably wither as a tree torn out from its place. And if Hindus do not maintain Hinduism, who shall save it? If India's own children do not cling to her faith, who shall guard it? India alone can save India, and India and Hinduism are one and the same. India and Hinduism are one and the same. Such ideas, such outcome of the great research and dedication to India, I was a communist for a long time. I was a communist for a very, very long time in the college, etc. But after reading books like the of Annie Besant and so many others, slowly inquiring, studying, I came to the conclusion which Annie Besant said so beautifully. Now, I found that while in India, the Macaulay education, that is in Macaulay, he was a British India Anglo company. He was an executive. He sent a note to the House of Commons in 1935, which said, I have gone all over India. There is no village where there is no school, where many people are not attending. If this continues, we cannot rule India. Therefore, we should replace the Indian system of education by the English system so that we produce generations of Indians who are only in color and blood Indian, but in taste, in use, and philosophy and commitment, they're all non-Indian Europeans. So these are the type of things. Once approach Hinduism, then India will fall into our lap. So things like that made me think, what is India's future? Who are supporting? What are our rules? What is our philosophy? What is our history? And who is it that are now rage against India, which is now already the fifth largest economy in the world, aspiring to be the third largest economy after the United States and China by the year 2047. Therefore, now that the English Empire has waned, there is no British Empire anywhere, accepting that some of the minds of the Indians have been colonized by that Macaulay education, the role of the Oxford University to denigrate India and to say it has no past and no future, the Harvard University has taken over. Now it is the Harvard University and Indians inveigled into that one, including Indian millionaires and billionaires giving money in competition to China without knowing what is it that China is supporting and what is it that the Indian monies that are given to these universities, what are they supporting? In India, Indians must defend India. They were not defending India and Indian heritage because of the Machiavellian education and the Nehruvian animus about everything that is Indian. So this role in America, where the universities, some two or three universities, including University of San Francisco, Berkeley campus, where a Dravidian exam, the Dravidian clique is also functioning. So who will take up this? Who will take up the case of Hinduism in America, which is now spearheading anti-Indianism in the philosophical and ideological realm? It was Rajiv Malhotra. We have discovered him. I have discovered him about 15 to 20 years ago. Although his Infinity Foundation is now 30 years old, yeah, I have discovered him only about 20 years. Every one of his book is available with us, and I have read every one of them. I marvel at the amount of sacrifice that he has done by giving up all the earnings that he has as an intellectual IT professional. I am also an IT telecom professional. He has given up all that money, dedicated that to the Infinity Foundation, where in America. And from there, he is taking on the academia in the universities and in the brilliant intellectual field, saying what you are talking about India is all wrong. This is India, about 15 books and so many other articles I written, each one of them which I had gone through. Now, which India was a great India? Hmm. This is a book, Wonder That Was India by A.L. Basham. He is a professor in the Australian National University and Canberra. And the latest one, I am surprised by William Dalrymple, who has also written a book, Freedom at Midnight, of describing about India. He says the Golden Road, how ancient India transformed the world. Ancient India transformed the world. Now, Rajiv Malhotra is an intellectual kshatriya, in spite of dedicating all his property, prosperity, etc. So Rajiv Malhotra was astounded at the anti-Indian propaganda that was coming, the misrepresentation that is coming about the Indian heritage, about Hinduism, etc., etc., represented by some people like Bindi Doninger, and some other people like that. She has got a very good name in the academia in the United States. And about the Sanskrit, there is another person who says he is a great Sanskrit scholar. Him also, Rajiv Malhotra studied and exposed his holiness in the book called The Battle for Sanskrit. So I would say that while in India, it is only recently that a few people are taking courage to defend Hinduism and Hindutva and Bharat and its raising power, like Arun Shourie some time ago, and Sitaram Goyal, a wonderful man, Sitaram Goyal, Dr. Rajaram, Navaratna Rajaram, about half a dozen people only in this Indian intellectual firmament who are bold enough to, in fact, Sitaram Goyal has started, just like Infinity Foundation, a Voice of India publication. There are about 40, 50 books that he had published. the exposing the pseudo-secularism and the Christianity and Islam, etc. So the battle for Hinduism, actually it is called Sanatana Dharma, because all isms are all wrong, they are all political constructs. Dharma is not a religion, it is a thought. Sanatana Dharma, that which holds the universe together, that is called Dharma. So that is the philosophy of Bharat. Ekam Sat Ipra Bahudha Vadanti. The truth is one, but the laggard people definitely can't, etc. So all these definitive terms which slightly describe, if not completely describe, what is Hinduism, have been thoroughly studied by Dr. Rajiv Malhotra. He is a Sanskrit scholar, a man, an IT professional, making a lot of money, giving up that and getting what is this happening? A great Oppenheimer, Oppenheimer, the one who exploded the first bomb. In what language did he speak? He did not speak in his mother tongue German. He adopted English, but in Sanskrit. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavet Ugapat Uttita Edi Bhaha Sa Sadrisi Syat Bhasastasya Mahatmanaha. If 1,000 suns arise at the same time, what brilliance is there? This is the brilliance that I am seeing. This is the Bhagavad Gita from that. So he is a Sanskrit scholar. So all the illumined minds, all the greatest intellectuals and greatest historians have recognized the validity of Sanatana Dharma, the great contribution that is the rishis and the scholars have made through the ages, whereas these upstart people, because of their monetary power and colonial military exploitative power, they are breeding some anti-Hindus, especially because India is going to become the third largest economy in the next 20 years. It is becoming a military power also. And those who don't deal well with India, they call it South Asian studies. What is common in South Asians? Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. They have anything to do with the Sanatana Dharma or Dharma itself, or what are that? What are they? It is the what is called South Asian studies is one. It is designed to suppress the Hindu Dharma, the Sanatana Dharma, and their intellectuals and their contribution to mankind. First of all, it has to be saved from its inimical critics, those who are misrepresenting it and those who are making it appear as all nonsense. So, first defense is to be there, and if the truth comes out, truth shines brilliantly like the thousand suns, right, rising at the same time. The truth will prevail. It is masked now. It is to be brought out. That is the work that Dr. Rajiv is doing. So, and in India, there is not enough recognition for him. There is not enough recognition for him. The Hindu writers like Amartya Sen was given a Nobel Prize. He eulogies only poverty and those who go on talking about disparity in incomes, etc., etc., etc. Such people, the Indians settled abroad, or NRIs, some of those such India-making NRIs have been given Padma Awards, not Rajiv Malhotra so far. In fact, I and some other people are urging the government of India, recognize your own children who are fighting your cause in the most mightiest nation, that is the United States of America and its academia. So Rajiv Malhotra deserves every one of you, sir, in defense of Sanskrit. The Kumbh Mela and with the latest book, Artificial Intelligence, who is going to wield the power? So, artificial intelligence, which is mesmerizing so many people in the world. So, what will it lead to? Actually, Aurobindo Ghosh long ago has said, we say that we have come from animals and monkeys and etc. Evolution. That was the theory of evolution. But why do you think the evolution will stop with man? Why do you think evolution will stop with man? Man will become a superman. And how is he going to become a superman? By the mastery of the artificial intelligence. The intelligence that is inherent in us is being extended, is being aided, is being sharpened by this artificial intelligence. So that also, although he has given up the IT work, he has written a book wonderfully arguing how who will wield world power by using this the latest knowledge tool. So the Rajiv Malhotra is really a kshatriya fighting for Dharma. Dharma not only in India, Dharma which was once expositioned in India and which were sometime under the colonial regime, under the most cruel invaders, that is Islamic invaders. And because of these hundreds of years, about 700, 800 years of foreign rule, which has been suppressed, that is to be revived by intellectual examination, intellectual inquiry, and comparing this Dharma with the religions. Each religion has got one God, and that God is a jealous God. He says other gods are false, and it is your duty, if you are my believer, that to destroy all those things and establish my superiority. Dharma does not say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Santu Sukhiraha. That is the Sarve. Sahana Vavatu. Sahana Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam. Saha. Together. Not divided into Islam, into Christianity. Of course, Judaism is no longer in Islam, but don't get divided. Humanity, we are all the children of one God. Therefore, don't hate. That's one of the greatest. Ma vidvishavaha. Ma vidvishavaha. Dvesh means to hate. Ma means no. Don't hate any person. You may not agree with any person. Intellectually, you can go on debating, but don't hate that person. He is also the child of the immortal God. So that's why this is so wonderful. That's why Annie Besant has said, after decades of study of all religions, I have come to the conclusion that Hindu is the most scientific, he is most human. For example, in 1945, the United Nations have come up with a universal declaration of human rights, right? Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But the 62 Muslim nations in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, headquartered in Rabat, they have come out with an Islamic Declaration of Human Rights, that these Muslims are not other human beings. The non-Muslims are all to be exterminated, converted or exterminated. So this is compared to this Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Islamic Declaration of Human Rights. They have distinguished themselves apart from all other human beings. Once upon a time, Christianity was also like that. Now that it got splintered into varieties, into scores of sects, it is powerless. It is only in the ignorant countries, in the poor countries, by fraud and this and that, that some people are getting converted. Otherwise, no intelligent like Bertrand Russell, he has deputated Christianity. He said it is most unscientific. So such the greatest intellectuals have always come to the conclusion that the Sanatana Dharma is a universal Dharma, because there is no hatred. And every emphasis is only together. Sarve Santu Niramaya. There shall be no disease anyway. All people should be disease free. Now in India, only a few people like Hanuman Chowdary, Sitaram Goyal, Rajaram, Navaratna Rama, another Rajaram, and in the United States, Cock, Sohas Cock. And such a few people are there who are boldly asserting, propagating, establishing that Sanatana Dharma has a great history. It is for all the mankind. It does not divide mankind into hostile groups. So the cause that should be fought by people in India is being fought by Malhotra. That's why I pay tribute to him. I am urging upon the government of India. We have given to the Hindu writer, Amartya Sen. He got even a Nobel Prize. Whereas persons like Malhotra ought to get. David Frawley is an American converted to India known as Vamadeva Shastri. He has been writing, but he has been writing philosophically. Polemically, writing is most important because the others are polemicists who are wanting to nacify Hinduism against them in their own area, in their own selected intellectual field. You have to wage a battle. That battle is being fought by Malhotra ji. That's why I pay tribute to him. That's why a number of people in India are now saying, you have given Padma Awards to so many people. Why about this? Why this discrimination against him? Number of millionaires in India, in order to establish their millionaire status, are giving endowments to the anti-Hinduism universities like Harvard, not knowing what their endowments are doing. South Asia studies, some other studies, etc., human studies, this study, that studies, all bearing upon adversarially on Hindu Dharma. The message is in the Bhagavad Gita. There is an eternal message, eternal wisdom in that one. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhu ma to sandhya asti akarmani. That is, it is your duty to perform what is necessary, what is good, what is noble, and what result it brings. Don't worry. Don't worry. Karmanyevadhikaraste. Your right is only to action, to right action. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Don't think of the reward that you will get. Dharma is all conquering. One day it shall prevail. That is the Bhagavad Gita's message. Karmanyevadhikaraste. And whenever yada yada hi dharmasya glanir abhidhanam adharmasya tada atmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhuram vinasaya cha dushkutam dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Yuge yuge. How many avatars God has to take? Because there is evil always. There is a contest between evil and good through the eons. That's why the God has taken so many avatars. According to our Dharma philosophy, Sanatana Dharma, from fish to boar to etc., all the Dashavataras, why did they come? Yada yada hi Dharma will deteriorate. That is what Bhishma also says in the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata. After the war is over, waiting for the Uttarayana Punya Kala, Bhishma on Sarasaya, and a bed of arrows, Krishna is taking the Pandavas. You don't know how to rule, man. There is a man who can tell you what is rule, what is kingdom, what is dharma, what is adharma, and who determines dharma. All this is given in great exposition in the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata after the war is over and only the Pandavas are left. First of all, he should live long with the good health, with the keenness of the intellect that he has shown and is showing. That's the one message. Government of Telangana is sending a lot of Brahmins, even giving them scholarships to the United States. I told you, you're Brahmins. You're Brahmins. Brahmajnana is your greatest asset. Before going to the United States of America, understand what is Hindu Dharma. And it is your duty to propagate, to educate, to illuminate, and to get as many people as possible to interest in this one. Like Kacha, who has gone to Shukracharya in order to get the Utta Sanjeevani, that is reviving these dead people. Indeed, Kacha has gone from the Devas, from the Devas, because Shukracharya was the preceptor, was the teacher, was the philosopher of the Rakshasas. He knew how to revive the dead people. Whereas here, although Devendra was the leader, and they have got Airavata, the elephant, so many things, but still they were getting killed again and again and again and again. So they sent Kacha, the son of Brihaspati, to Shukracharya, that is America. So I tell them, you Brahmin people, like a Kacha, you should go to the United States, get PhDs and whatnot, whatnot. intellectual property, you really try to get it. But like Kacha, who is said Devayani, the most beautiful lady, the preceptor's daughter, falls in love with Kacha. And when Kacha says after he got the Amrita Vidya, that is a PhD and doctorate in America, he says, I'm going. Hey, you should not go. I love you. Marry me. Take me. She says, I have not come to marry you. I have not come to America to become an American in order to pursue the increase prosperity of America. I have got a Janani, Janmabhumi, Sarga the Bigariyasi. That's what Rama has told Lakshmana after the Ravana Samhara. Janani, Janmasya, Janmabhumi, Sarga the Bigariyasi. It is superior to Sarga even. Therefore, let's go back to Ayodhya. Similarly, Indian students, millions of them are there. They are the second largest foreign student community after China. Indians are there. Yes, all of them, like the Kacha, should get PhDs in philosophies and great distinctions. They should now defend, propagate Dharma in America and elsewhere. Pranado Vishwamarya, we will ennoble the entire world. That's the aspiration of the Vedas. Kanmato Vishwam Aryam. Arya means noble person. A noble person does not hate. He does not think that he knows everything. Hmm. When I did not know anything, I behaved like an elephant. But Bodha Jana Sakasat Avagatam, in the company of the learned people, Aham Janami, Kinchik knows me, I was relative. Therefore, howsoever intellectually qualified you are and you are equipping yourself, we shall know that I don't know everything. I am still in the process of learning and learning and learning. And that is what Rajivji has done. Therefore, I salute him. I wish him Godspeed and a fruitful further life in defense of Dharma, which is universal.